From GCU Softball Stadium in Phoenix, Arizona, on the campus of Grand Canyon University, you're watching NCAA softball on ESPN Plus as the Grand Canyon University Lopes play host to the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers University in the heart of the Valley of the Sun. Jack O'Hara here with you alongside Houston Bowe for this one. It's great to have you all with us as the Lopes look to carry the momentum of a huge 2-0 win over the BYU Cougars in this matchup against the Scarlet Knights, who on the other hand are looking to change their luck after a 9-run defeat against BYU earlier today, an 11-2 loss against the Cougars. But Shannon Hayes and the Lopes couldn't be happier after one of the more hard-fought wins that they've had this season against a very, very prominent BYU program. Ariel Thompson with a complete game shutout on the circle after the Cougars left 10 runners on base. They left 6 runners in scoring position. The Lopes winning that one 2-0, 2 runs on 4 hits after a 2-run single off the bat of Kristen Fifield in the bottom of the second inning. They never really looked back. And there were plenty of times in that game where, again, Ariel Thompson had to work herself into and out of trouble. With runners on first and second, 1 out in the third, she was able to get out of trouble against the middle part of that order. And then, of course, in the top of the 5th inning with the bases loaded and 1 out, a huge double play turned by Caitlin Dunkel to end the frame. And the Lopes never looked back. A big 2-0 win. It's going to be a different story against this Scarlet Knight program, who's looking to bounce back after that 9-run deficit, as we'll take a look at the 3 keys to the game, Houston, of course, presented by Sanderson Ford.
The Sanderson Ford keys to the game. Number 1, patient pitching. This Lopes team has been very impressive pitching-wise to start the season, with performances from players like J.C. Hambrick, who we're going to see start in the circle for the Lopes tonight, as well as Ariel Thompson, who has been named Pitcher of the Week once already this season, coming off that great performance today against BYU. Whoever we see step into the circle tonight just needs to take their time and trust the pitching that has led them to a fantastic 16-5 record to start the season. Number 2, speed kills. This GCU team has been running the bases at a very consistent rate to start off their campaign, with stolen bases being a particularly impressive stat category for the Lopes. Gianna Nicoletti leads the team with 24 stolen bases, and the team as a whole has over 70 attempted stolen bases this year. The Lopes have been successful on over 90% of their attempted steals, but not only are the Lopes stealing well, they're also doing a good job of not allowing other teams to move around, with their opponent's stolen base percentage down to less than 60%. We'll see how much of a factor that plays in tonight's matchup. Number 3, heavy hitting harmony. It is no secret that this Lopes team has some heavy hitters on their roster. When you've got players like Danae Chapman on your team, who are currently hitting a home run about a third of the time that she makes contact with the ball, that typically breeds danger for any opposing team. The Scarlet Knights take a more consistent hitting approach with just 6 homers on the season compared to the aggressive style of hitting we've seen from the Lopes, who've totaled a whopping 19 home runs already this year. We're set up for a great ball game here tonight. I can't wait to get things started here in the GCU softball stadium.
Well, you talked a lot of facts right there, Houston. You looked at Ariel Thompson's start earlier today, 7 innings of shutout softball. She threw 3 innings of shutout softball against Ball State earlier in the week. And then you look at J.C. Hambrick out on the circle tonight, coming off that performance against Ball State in that 5-2 win. 3 shutout innings, only allowed 2 hits, picked up a strikeout in the process as well. Is looking to do a lot of damage against the Scarlet Knights offense here tonight. And then you look at the speed as well. You talked about Gianna Nicoletti picking up that record, breaking that program, breaking 61st stolen base, and then picked up the 62nd stolen base about 3 minutes later or whatever it was, right? And then, of course, the offense, you talk about just the 2 big hits, or the big hit, excuse me, in that game, of course. The double from Kelso with a runner on first and nobody out after the walk to Chapman in the second, and the 2-run single driving in 2 from Kristen Fifield. Look for the bats to come out alive tonight. Again, an 11 spot BYU put up against this Rutgers pitching staff earlier today was not a pretty one if you're a Scarlet Knights fan watching back home in New Jersey. An 11-2 win for BYU over these Scarlet Knights, but they're going to be looking to come back in a big way in the nightcap after having a few hours off in this one. We'll take a look at the starting lineup for those Rutgers Scarlet Knights as well. It's going to be Sand, Lawson, and Callaway at the top at short, second, and left field. Lynn Cavrage, Fawcett, and Wingard, 4, 5, 6. And then you got Bach, Megan, Chavez, 7, 8, 9, and then, of course, Jaden Vickers on the mound starting things off against J.C. Hambrick and this Lopes defense. Gianna Nicoletti, of course, in left field, Reed in center. You got Fifield in right, just like the first game. And of course, across the diamond, you got Torvill, Dunkel, Barnes, and then Chapman over at first, with Kelso behind the dish, and J.C. Hambrick looking for put another win in the win column for the Lopes here in this nightcap. There you see the numbers right there, 7 wins to just 1 loss for number 19. You saw her warming up in the bullpen, again came in relief on Wednesday. Thought Coach Hayes would have needed her in game 1 today, but Ariel Thompson able to finish what she started, that ERA of 2.70, 46 2/3 innings of work, that strikeout to walk ratio 29 Ks, excuse me, to 11 walks. As the sophomore right-hander looking for win number 8, and she'll do battle against Kylie Sand, the shortstop, left-handed bat, leading things off for Rutgers. Again, looking to change the momentum swing after a very disappointing loss earlier today. Ashley Hitchcock was on the circle for Rutgers, picking up her 6th loss to go along with 5 wins. Only went 2 1/3 innings of work, allowing 5 earned runs. But this offense looking to break through in a big way in this GCU/ASU tournament. GCU-ASU Classic, I should say, was hitless in that game earlier today in just 2 at-bats, but it looks like Sands is ready. It looks like Hambrick is ready. Houston, you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Let's have some fun here in the desert. First pitch misses up, and we are officially underway. That pitch in there for a strike, leveling up the count at 1-1. And Rutgers, top third of the order, had a tough time this afternoon against the Cougars. 0 for 7 combined, 1 through 3. Peyton Linkavage moving down to the cleanup spot in this game after batting second earlier today. Was 0 for 3 in that game as the count now moves to 1-2. But J.C. Hambrick continues to be dominant in that circle in this 2022 season, Houston. As you could just see, getting ahead of these hitters right out of the gate, looking for a big out number 1 against Sanier, trying to get her to chase as the count now moves to 2-2. But 7 wins, 1 loss after a very dominant freshman season a year ago. J.C. Hambrick proving that she's the real deal.
Yeah, earned that all-whack honorable mention last season. Her and Thompson been kind of the top 2 pitchers. Then you've got Denhart and Eastburn having impressive seasons as well.
That one ripped up the middle. Hambrick's got a glove on it, throws to first, and by about a half a step, makes the put out. 1 up and 1 down as Kylie Sand is retired to start the nightcap here for the Lopes.
Maddie Lawson.
So a hard hit ball off the leadoff bat of Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Take another look. The shadow is going to play a big factor here, at least in the first few innings in this one. 5 o'clock start Mountain Standard Time. But Hambrick able to make the grab for out number 1. That'll bring up Lawson, the second baseman for Rutgers. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Count 0-1. Lawson switching spots with Linkavage in that lineup. Hit cleanup in game 1 today against BYU. Went hitless in 2 at-bats. Struck out in 1 of those plate appearances. As the 0-1 pitch misses way outside. Count now 1-1. J.C. Hambrick again just looking to add to the momentum that Ariel Thompson had on the circle today. And despite not having her best stuff, was able to work herself into and out of trouble, was disciplined, was able to buckle down and make the big pitches when she had to, and relied on her defense heavily as well, who stepped up for her in a big way. That pitch misses up. Count now moves to 2-1.
Maddie Lawson, the freshman, really stepped into the Scarlet Knights roster and done a good job in her freshman season. Double-digit RBIs already on the season and continuing to be an impressive player for the Scarlet Knights team at the beginning of this lineup.
2-1 pitch misses low, and the count now runs to 3 balls and 1 strike. J.C. Hambrick looking to avoid allowing a 1-out base runner early on in this game against Rutgers, with Callaway waiting on deck, the senior left-handed bat. He's going to get a chance to bat here with a runner on first base and 1 out. So 1-out walk handed out by J.C. Hambrick. Plenty of speed on there at first base, the freshman Lawson.
Fielder number 15.
Talked about the top third of that order not having much success. Gabrielle Calloway, 1 hit and 2 at-bats. Did score one of those 2 runs earlier today against the Cougars. BYU putting up a 2 spot in the first, a 3 spot in the third, 2 spot in the fourth, and then they finished the job in the 5th by putting up 3, winning that one in 5 innings. Handing Rutgers their 8th loss coming into this one, 13 wins, 8 losses in their season. Pitch misses up. We'll see if the Lopes have much success in their first go-around against Jaden Vickers in the bottom of the first. We'll see if we can get there here. It looks like that one just off the glove of Dunkel, unable to get a glove on that one. We'll see how they score it. That'll put runners on first and second with 1 out here in the first, and Rutgers is in business with Linkavage digging in. As we take another look here. Could have been an inning-ending 3-6-3 double play. It looks like Chapman was going to be able to get back to the bag, but Dunkel unable to squeeze it in for out number 2. And that'll bring up Linkavage, the junior left-handed bat. Again, hit second in that game against BYU earlier, was hitless in 2 at-bats. Dunkel playing deep in the hole at short as that pitch misses up, count 1-0. And now J.C. Hambrick is going to have to buckle down here early on in the first inning. She's going to want herself to get out of this one. That one sliced foul, evening up the count at 1-1. Well, we talked about pitching Houston, and J.C. Hambrick is going to have to be a pitcher here in the top half of the first inning. It's not going to be an easy next couple of outs getting out of this one with Linkavage at the plate. Fawcett on deck, the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in this Rutgers order doing the most damage so far here this weekend for this program. But she's gonna have to make her pitches here. Goes off speed there in the hole. Dunkel once again unable to field that one cleanly. And now we got all ducks on the pond with 1 out. Linkavage reaching at first base. It'll be Lawson at third, Calloway at second, Linkavage at first, and that'll bring up Fawcett.
Yeah, the one thing that made Ariel Thompson's performance in the last game so impressive is she was in so many situations similar to this. A lot of runners on base, plenty of bases loaded situations, and was able to get out of it. So J.C. Hambrick looking to do the same in game number 2 of the night.
Again, it's going to sound like a broken record, but of course Ariel Thompson getting out of that jam with runners on first and second in the third. Had the bases loaded in each the 4th and the 5th. They were able to get out of it. Dunkel's going to come home on that throw. And Kelso's able to come away with the grab on the back end. Wow. So there's 2 away. Bases remain loaded. Of course, the home plate umpire is going to talk things over with Kristen Butler, the head coach for Rutgers Scarlet Knights. A very huge play for Caitlin Dunkel. Of course, had the big double play in game 1 earlier today in the 5th inning to get them out of trouble. You see Lawson down there trying to get a good jump at third base. Across her body, though, deep in the hole. Caitlin Dunkel on 1 hop as Kelso's able to make the grab on 1 hop herself. Great defensive play on both ends of the softball there on that play for the 2nd out of the inning. And now with Calloway on third, Linkavage on second, and Fawcett on first. That'll bring up Wingert, trying to drive in a few runs. First pitch. Misses outside, count 1-0. And once again, Houston, the Lopes 1 out away from getting themselves out of another jam. Just against another team here on this Friday afternoon.
It's another tough spot here for Hambrick, but she's shown in the past that she can get out of these situations, much like Thompson. We'll see if she can do it here.
Dribbled slowly. Dunkel's going to have to make another tough play. Fields it, takes her time, throws across the diamond. And Caitlin Dunkel, after having a tough time on 2 plays in the inning, makes up for it with 2 big outs. You're watching GCU softball right here on ESPN. Let's go to the bottom of the first.
Collins inbounds the ball to Clifton. Clifton finds Witter under the basket. Kick it up to Kimberly for a long three. Shazam! And you can put this one in the icebox. Sanderson Ford has just won another championship. Congratulations to Sanderson Ford. This all-star team consistently wins by treating customers the right way. No hassles, no pressure, no nonsense, no added markups. While new vehicle inventory is on the rebound, we have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles starting under $12,000. For a true championship experience, see my friends at Sanderson Ford.
Sunrise, waking up lonely, big sky, where am I going? And I don't know. You take me for what I am, love pure and simple. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces. You are the best part. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans, huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food and everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
Let's go to the bottom of the first here on ESPN Plus. The Lopes and J.C. Hambrick able to get themselves out of another bases-loaded jam in that first inning with one out. Two huge plays from Caitlin Dunkel at shortstop. And now Dunkel will get her first chance batting third in the order. It'll be Nicoletti, Reed, and Dunkel against Jaden Vickers, the southpaw for Rutgers University. First pitch to Nicoletti, misses up, count 1-0. Jaden Vickers, it'll be interesting to see how this Lopes order does and fares against her the first go-around, as the junior coming off a very impressive sophomore season. Academic All-Big Ten, made 23 appearances with 5 of those being starts, picking up 35 punch-outs in the process on the circle. As the 1-0 pitch misses up, count now quickly 2-0 on Gianna Nicoletti. He talked about the speed Houston early on in the 3 keys to the game presented by Sanderson Ford. If Gianna Nicoletti can get on here, the Lopes are primed and ready for at least a good start here in this first inning with the confidence that they have with her on the base paths.
It just becomes such a dangerous situation. It feels like more times than not, when she gets on first base, she ends up making her way to third through back-to-back stolen bases. So we'll see if that's the case here in the bottom of the first.
Vickers trying to work her way back in this at-bat. She does just that as she gets Nicoletti to foul that one straight back. Comes in to the Lopes left fielder there, and the count quickly 2 balls and 2 strikes. You see the numbers there, 373, just 2 RBIs for Gianna. But has been arguably one of the best leadoff hitters that this program has seen in the last 3 years. Going to choke up on the bat here with 2 strikes. 2 balls and 2 strikes leading off this bottom half of the first inning. Vickers gets Nicoletti to swing through that one. So she goes down on strikes to start this first inning. And that'll bring up Stephanie Reed trying to get on base for the first time this afternoon.
Stephanie Reed.
Stephanie Reed having a tough go-around against BYU earlier today, striking out in her 3 plate appearances. You take another look there, 2-2 pitch. Vickers coming up there to Nicoletti. Gets her to swing right through it. First pitch to Reed. Clips the outside corner for a called strike. Count 0-1.
Stephanie Reed, one of those 15 new players to the GCU roster who came here alongside Coach Shannon Hayes with his first year. Previously at Utah State, had a good stint there for a little while, and now making her way to Phoenix.
Cut on and missed. Healthy hack there from number 14. Nothing to show for it as the count now moves to no balls and 2 strikes. I mentioned the success that she had at Utah State. Houston looking to cap off her college campaign here in the purple and white. She's done a nice job so far this season, driving in a ton of runs here in the first 2 months as that one's fouled straight back. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes as Jaden Vickers continues to come right after these first 2 hitters in a big way. 47 2/3 innings pitched a season ago for Vickers, trying to be one of the more vocal points for her head coach in this 2022 season in New Jersey. As that pitch misses outside, count now moves to 1-2. Pitch fouled straight back. Reed right on that one to stay alive, as we'll do it again at 1-2. We mentioned the 3 punch-outs earlier today against the Cougars pitching staff, looking to put a ball in play early on in this first inning. And the Rutgers Scarlet Knights able to put J.C. Hambrick up against the wall in that first inning, was able to get herself out of it as this Lopes pitching staff continues to buckle down when they need to the most. That pitch misses low, count now leveled at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But again, just 2 runs against BYU earlier today. They had 5 runs against Ball State on Wednesday. They'll meet them tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 Mountain Standard Time as well in this GCU ASU Classic. But Vickers looking to silence these Lopes bats right out of the get-go. So that one hooked down the left field line and foul. We'll do it again. A quality at bat here for Stephanie Reed, the Lopes center fielder, trying to give the Lopes their first base runner of the ball game. Fouled straight back, and we'll do it again. So after Vickers was able to make fairly quick work of Gianna Nicoletti, working the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes before getting her to chase one up in the zone. Stephanie Reed being a tough out here for Vickers. We'll see what she goes with on 2-2 after trying to paint the corner in each of the last 2 pitches. Tries to go up and away again, misses. Just a bit outside as the count now runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with Dunkel waiting on deck. That one popped in the air, should get out of play as it goes over the net into the stands. And a very tough at-bat here now for Vickers. This will be the 9th pitch of this battle between Vickers and Reed here in the bottom of the first inning. Lopes looking for their 2nd win of the afternoon, a big 2-0 win against the Cougars earlier today. As that one's lofted in the air, fairly deep right center field. On the warning track is Fawcett. She makes the play. Covered a lot of ground for out number 2. So Reed finally makes contact on the day, hits the ball hard just in front of the warning track for out number 2, and that'll bring up Caitlin Dunkel with 2 outs and nobody on. Take another look here. Again, a 9-pitch battle. Reed put a drive into that one, but in deep right center field. Fawcett able to cover some ground and haul it in for out number 2. Dunkel, the shortstop for the Lopes, making a pair of tough plays to salvage the final 2 outs in that top half of the first inning. We talked about the huge double play turned in the 5th inning against BYU earlier today, helping out Ariel Thompson in a big way to get out of that bases-loaded 1-out jam in the 5th. Vickers taking a little something off that one as the count now moves to no balls and 2 strikes.
Caitlin Dunkel just been consistent. .475 batting average, 18 RBIs, 29 hits. Been a perfect spot in this batting order for the Lopes.
Vickers gets her to swing through that one. An impressive 1-2-3 bottom half of the first for Jaden Vickers as we move to the 2nd. It's Rutgers, it's the Lopes. You're watching NCAA softball right here on ESPN+. Don't go anywhere.
Everything you desire.
You got what I'm looking for. You got everything that I want. My sugar and gold.
Everything you hunger for.
Take me to a higher place. Show me all your magic ways.
Nothing you ever expected. Welcome to Thosh at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Collins inbounds the ball to Clifton. Clifton finds Witter under the basket. Kick it up to Kimberly for a long three. Shazam! And you can put this one in the icebox. Sanderson Ford has just won another championship. Congratulations to Sanderson Ford. This all-star team consistently wins by treating customers the right way. No hassles, no pressure, no nonsense, no added markups. While new vehicle inventory is on the rebound, we have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles starting under 12 grand. For a true championship experience, see my friends at Sanderson Ford.
We move to the top half of inning number 2 here on ESPN Plus. A scoreless first inning between Rutgers and Grand Canyon University. Jaden Vickers able to retire the Lopes in order in the bottom of the first. It'll be the bottom third of the Scarlet Knights order against J.C. Hambrook here in the second. Bach, Herka, and Chavez against number 19. First pitch to Bach is in there for a strike count, 0-1. And J.C. Hambrook able to get herself out of a bases-loaded one-out jam in the top half of the first inning. 2 big plays made by her shortstop, Caitlin Dunkel, after she was unable to get a glove on each of the first 2 plays before that bases-loaded one-out jam occurred. Remember, there's a runner on first base and 1 out. Ground ball hit to Chapman at first, looking for the double play, inning-ending double play. Caitlin Dunkel unable to get a glove on it, allowing the runner at second base to reach. Then a tough play in the hole. Probably wouldn't have been able to make the play anyway, as that one is once again in the hole. Dunkel going to be a tough play. Sets her feet, fires, but not nearly in time to get the speedy box. So that's an infield base hit for Rutgers, as they have themselves a leadoff base runner with Herka digging in. And Caitlin Dunkel, after
Megan Herka.
having a bases-loaded one-out jam, makes a big play at home plate. The one-hop throw to Kelso for the force out for out number 2. And is able to retire the side on a ground ball hit to her deep in the hole. That one chopped to first. Chapman unable to get a glove on that one as it trickles into right field. Moving from first to third is Bach. So just like that, the Scarlet Knights have something cooking here in the second. Runners on the corners with nobody out, and that'll bring up Chavez.
Rare miscue.
Chapman having a tough time finding this one, Houston, as we take a look on the replay.
Yeah, it took a little bit of an awkward skip off the ground right by Chapman. Rare miscue from her. Literally, typically so consistent there at first base.
Didn't get a glove on it. She'll play in front of the bag, in front of Herka on first base. So runners on the corners, nobody out. That'll bring up Chavez, the sophomore left-handed bat, looking for her first RBI of the day.
Pinch running for the Scarlet Knights, number 2, Taylor Lane.
Taylor Lane pinch running at first base for Rutgers, looking to utilize some speed early on in this game. And after a 9-run deficit earlier today, Rutgers looking to break out in a big way offensively right now against the Lopes. Throw down to second, play's gonna be made. Dunkel applies the tag, and that's a big out for GCU in this second inning. Now a runner on third base and 1 out. Really no advantage there as Taylor Lane runs into the first out here in the second inning. You knew what Rutgers was trying to do there, just were very unsuccessful in doing so.
It's an aggressive play coming into the game. First pitch goes for that stolen base. Unsuccessful, but just the first out, so plenty of time.
Nice block in the dirt there from Kelso, keeping the ball in front with a runner on third base. So the count now moves to 1-1 on Chavez. Again, the sophomore left-handed bat went hitless today in that 11-2 loss. The infield playing about halfway, looking to find the grass. Hooks that one foul on the right field side, and the count now moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one ripped right to Dunkel at short, and that's just what the doctor ordered. J.C. Hambrick now is 1 out away from getting herself out of another jam. Rutgers leaving 2 runners in scoring position in the first. They're 1 out away from leaving a runner in scoring position here in the second. That one hit right on the nose by Chavez. There's nothing to show for it with the infield playing about halfway. Dunkel able to make the play. And now Sand has another opportunity. Her second at bat grounded softly back to Hambrick in her first and only plate appearance. First pitch misses low and away, count 1-0.
In some way, it's becoming a bit of a normality for opposing teams against the Lopes today, having a runner on third base with 2 outs typically, but the Lopes finding a way to get out of the innings.
The Lopes have been perfect so far today with runners in scoring position against their opposition's offense. As that pitch clips the outside corner for a called strike, Hambrick able to even up the count at 1-1. Sand looking to give Rutgers their 3rd hit against Hambrick already in their first run. Their first lead of the day. Mentioned a big 2 spot for BYU in that game earlier today. Got them on the scoreboard early on. Rutgers was able to hang in there, tie things up at 2 apiece before BYU was able to capitalize with 9 unanswered runs in that game in the next 4 innings. That one's laced right in front of Nicoletti for a base hit. It's going to be an RBI single for Sand. Her first RBI of the ballgame, first run of the ballgame is in favor of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. A 1-0 lead here in the second.
That one just placed perfectly down the third base line, lands in front of Nicoletti. No time to make that play.
And she takes the short hop out in there in left field. Sand now 1 for 2 in this one as Lawson will now dig in, trying to keep things going here for Rutgers in the second. So the Lopes surrender their first run of the afternoon after shutting down the Cougars in game 1. We're able to get out of that jam in the first inning with a runner on 3rd and 2 outs. Nice piece of hitting by Sand, able to take that pitch the other way. Now Hambrick will look to get ahead in the count here. No balls and 2 strikes now against Lawson. Trying to escape further damage here with the middle part of her order due up. Chapman, Kelso, and Fifield due up in the bottom half of the second inning. That pitch misses up and in. Count now 1-2. And now Vickers has a lead to work with out there on the circle for Rutgers in the bottom half of inning number 2, but she'll face this heart of the Lopes order, Chapman, Kelso, and Fifield for the first time in her career. As the 1-2 delivery from Hambrick is lofted in the air, right field, Fifield right there. Can of corn for the Lopes right fielder, and that'll do it, but not before Rutgers scores 1 run on 2 more hits. Let's go to the bottom of the second. It's Rutgers 1, GCU nothing. You're watching NCAA softball right here on ESPN+.
No errors, 1 runner left on base.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans. Huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food. And everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
This is gonna be tough. I mean, that's a bag full of Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwiches with tangy buffalo sauce and creamy buttermilk ranch, melty Monterey Jack cheese, and 3 crunchy chicken strips. How long will you have to wait before you enjoy yours? Oh, about that long. Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich is back for a limited time, just like you like it.
Collins inbounds the ball to Clifton. Clifton finds Whitter under the basket. Kick it up to Kimberly for a long 3. Shazam! And you can put this one in the icebox. Sanderson Ford has just won another championship. Congratulations to Sanderson Ford. This all-star team consistently wins by treating customers the right way. No hassles, no pressure, no nonsense, no added markups. While new vehicle inventory is on the rebound, we have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles starting under $12,000. For a true championship experience, see my friends at Sanderson Ford.
Let's move to the bottom of the second here on ESPN+. Jaden Vickers has a lead to work with now. 1 run on 3 hits now for Rutgers. Lopes looking for their first hit against the Rutgers Southpaw. Chapman, Kelso, and Fifield due up in this inning. And Danae Chapman looking for her first hit of the afternoon after going hitless in 2 plate appearances against the Cougars earlier today. First pitch misses up, count 1-0. And you can't deny the numbers either. 8 home runs, those 29 runs batted in Houston. As the average again now down to 424, just dipping below 430 on the season with those 2 at-bats earlier. That one's fouled straight back, count now leveled at a ball and a strike. Trying to paint the corner right there on 1-1. Doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike on the Lopes first baseman. And another one of those players looking to end her college career strong here in the purple and white after a very successful tenure with ASU. Lifts that one in the air foul. And that one will find the seats and level up the count at 2-2.
Danae Chapman had plenty of impressive seasons with the Sun Devils. Coming to GCU. Really can't say enough about her. You mentioned the 29 RBIs, team leading, 8 homers, second in hits to Caitlin Dunkel, who's got 29, but 4th in the order and in a great spot.
And once again, Vickers trying to paint the outside corner, doesn't get 33 to chase. And a quality at bat here for the Lopes first baseman as the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to kick off this second inning. That one chopped right back to Vickers, gets a glove on it, throws to first base for the first out. Nice play there for number 9. That one rocketed right back to the circle. Vickers able to get a glove on it. Turn around the 360 throw to first base. Take another look here. Chapman reaching out for that one. 0 for 1, 0 for 3 now on the day. But 0 for 1 in this one against Rutgers as she'll take a seat. Kelso will now dig in at 2 hits against BYU earlier. Had that double in the bottom of the second inning after Chapman walked. Swings at the first pitch, fouls it straight back. Count quickly 0-1. Had an infield single in the 4th inning in her next at-bat before flying out to the warning track and dead center in her final at-bat in the 6th. But the junior backstop looking for an even bigger day, a bigger nightcap here against Rutgers. And we are looking at 2 very competitive matchups, a 2-0 win against BYU. And so far a 1-0 deficit early on in this one against the Scarlet Knights. Count quickly 0-2 now on Kelso after swinging through that one. That 281 average now after those 2 hits. 4 home runs, 6 runs batted in for the catcher. As Vickers gets the sign, kicks and delivers the 0-2, cut on and missed. As she gets Kelso to swing through 3 straight pitches for out number 2.
Now batting, right fielder, number 20, Kristen Fifield.
Coming right after the Lopes backstop with 1 out and nobody on here. Again on 0-2, that one right down Broadway, getting Kelso to swing right through it. A couple of healthy hacks there for Kinsey Kelso. But Kristen Fifield will now dig in, looking to give the Lopes their first base runner with 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd. First pitch is in there for a called strike, 0-1. And so far, so good for Jaden Vickers. Houston coming right after these Lopes hitters, getting ahead of these Lopes hitters, which has been the recipe for her success thus far. Oh, 1. That one just misses up. Count now leveled at a ball and a strike on Fifield. And of course, Fifield, the offense for the Lopes in game 1 against BYU. That 2-run single to right field, driving in a pair in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Now has 23 runs batted in to go with that 277 average. 5 home runs on the season as well. She skies that one in the air. Should be playable at 3rd for Link Average. She squeezes it in. Another 1, 2, 3 inning. 6 up, 6 down for Vickers in this one in Phoenix. We head to the 3rd. It's Rutgers 1, GCU nothing. You're watching NCAA softball right here on ESPN+.
Rutgers 1, GCU.
everything you desire.
You got what I'm looking for. You got everything that I want. My sugar and gold.
Everything you hunger for.
Take me to a higher place. Show me all your magic ways.
Nothing you ever expected. Welcome to Thosh at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Welcome to a sport of fitness. Premium fitness for as low as $9.99 per month.
Sunrise, waking up lonely, big sky. Where am I going? I don't know. You take me for what I am. Love pure and simple. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces. You are the best part. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces.
We move to inning number 3 here at Grand Canyon University on ESPN Plus. A 1-0 lead for the Scarlet Knights over the Lopes through the first 2 innings of work. Jaden Vickers 6 up, 6 down against the first 6 in the Lopes order, as J.C. Hambrick will do battle for the second time in this game against the heart of this Rutgers order, Callaway, Linkavage, and Fawcett. As the first pitch drops in there for a strike on the outside corner, count 0-1. And the Lopes in game number 2 of 3 on the weekend. They'll take on Ball State tomorrow at 2:30 Mountain Standard Time here on ESPN Plus. Gearing up for WAC play, kicking off next week. They'll head to New Mexico State to kick off the Western Athletic Conference play. Of course, the WAC tournament taking place this weekend for both men's and women's basketball. Molly Miller's squad picking up a big-time win against Cal Baptist, 64-61 moments ago in Las Vegas. That pitch misses outside. Count now 2 balls and 1 strike on Callaway. The senior 0 for 1 in this ball game. Grounded into a fielder's choice. Pitch misses up. Count now 3-1. J.C. Hambrick looking to avoid a leadoff walk here in the 3rd inning. And with Linkavage, Fawcett, and then Wingert looming in this order, Rutgers looking to take advantage early on in this game the way Jaden Vickers has thrown through the first 2 innings. 3-1 pitch, ripped up the middle. Right back to where it came from for a leadoff single for Gabriella Callaway. Runner on first base, nobody out.
Now batting third baseman, Peyton Linkavage.
Now Peyton Linkavage will get an opportunity, and that one barely misses J.C. Hambrick. As Reed fields it cleanly in center field. Now Linkavage 0 for 1, reached on that E6 to load the bases in the first inning. Would have been a tough play regardless for Caitlin Dunkel, deep in the hole at short, but unable to come away with it cleanly before she was able to make 2 key plays to end that top half of the first inning. So the Lopes were unscathed before J.C. Hambrick allowed 1 run in the top of the second after a 2-out base hit with a runner on third base. That one ripped foul, and the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. So J.C. Hambrick, after falling behind 3-1, having to come right after Callaway. Callaway able to take advantage with a base hit up the middle, comes right after Linkavage, now up in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Looking to retire her for the first out of this frame. Kicks, winds, and delivers the 0-2. Doesn't get her to chase up and in, count now 1-2. Linkavage having to go down to get that one, is able to get a piece of it, an emergency hack there for Rutgers cleanup man. His count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll see how long Coach Shannon Hayes wants to go with J.C. Hambrick in this one. Again, has only allowed one run through first 2 innings of work. After Ariel Thompson went the distance, the bullpen well rested for the rest of this weekend as the count now moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Linkavage. Rip to third and foul. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, talked about the WAC tournament this weekend in Las Vegas. The men's team will play host shortly in their next matchup after a big win last night. The women in control in their game against Cal Baptist to the very end in this one, going back and forth in the 4th quarter before they were able to salvage that win by 3 points. As that one misses in, almost clips Linkavage, able to get out of the way, and the count now runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now with a runner on first base and nobody out, it should be interesting to see what Rutgers does here with Callaway at the bag at first base. You see Chapman playing in front of the runner down the first base line. But Hambrick deals as that one's ripped right to Torvill, and she'll throw across the diamond with Callaway leaning for the double play. So that's what's going to happen with Rutgers. As it was going to be interesting to see what they were going to do on the base pass. Callaway leaning just a little too much as that one was ripped down the third base line from Linkavage. Take another look here, was running on the play right to Torvill, and Torvill, all she had to do was set her feet and fire across the diamond for out number 2. So with 2 outs and nobody on, that'll bring up Fawcett now, with Hambrick looking to retire the side. First pitch is low for a ball count 1-0.
It's a good play from Torvill. She's switched time a little bit with Hannah Burnett at third base as well, and stepping into the lineup here tonight, and that's a big double play here in the top of the 3rd.
Pitch misses, low count now 2-0 on Fawcett. Grounded into that fielder's choice with the bases loaded. Dunkel opting to come home, threw across her body deep in the hole at short. The 1-hop throw to Kelso. Got to give a lot of credit to Kinsey Kelso at home plate, able to keep that one in front for out number 2 of that inning, as that one's rifled down the left field line and foul. So the count now moves to 2-1 as J.C. Hambrick looks to battle her way back in this count in the 3rd. The Lopes will have the bottom 3rd of their order due up against Jaden Vickers, who again has been perfect through the first 2 frames. Her first go-around against this Lopes order. Eastburn, Torvill, and Barnes due up against the Rutgers left-hander. That pitch misses low and in. Count now 3-1. So J.C. Hambrick falling behind 3-1 on Callaway, resulting in a base hit up the middle to start the inning. We'll see what she goes with here on 3-1 against Fawcett. Comes right after her, fouls it off on the left side, and the count will now run full at 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 3rd. And if you're just joining us, it's a 1-0 Rutgers lead over Grand Canyon University here in Phoenix on the campus of Grand Canyon University. Sand with an RBI single in inning number 2 with a runner on third base and 2 outs. That's where we stand right now, as that pitch misses low and in. Nice spot right there from J.C. Hambrick. Does not get the call from the home plate umpire, so another 2-out walk handed out, and that'll bring up Wingard with a runner on first.
Scarlet Knight hitters doing a good job of just staying alive and getting on base. It gets to a point now, though, where you need to start capitalizing. We've seen already today against BYU and other times throughout the season, this Lopes team does a good job of just kind of riding you out if they get these little leads. Rutgers obviously with the lead right now. We'll see if GCU can answer.
Wingard leaving 3 runners on back in the 1st. Looks like she'll leave 1 on here in the 3rd. Grounded back to Hambrick. She makes the play for the final out. No runs. 1 hit for Rutgers. They leave 1 on. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd. You're watching NCAA softball on ESPN+. We'll be right back.
Collins inbounds the ball to Clifton. Clifton finds Witter under the basket. Kick it up to Kimberly for a long 3. Shazam! And you can put this one in the icebox. Sanderson Ford has just won another championship. Congratulations to Sanderson Ford. This all-star team consistently wins by treating customers the right way. No hassles, no pressure, no nonsense, no added markups. While new vehicle inventory is on the rebound, we have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles starting under $12,000. For a true championship experience, see my friends at Sanderson Ford.
Sunrise, waking up lonely, big sky, where am I going? I don't know, I don't know. take me for what I am. Love pure and simple. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces. You are the best part. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans. Huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food. And everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
Easy-going top half of inning number 3 for J.C. Hambrick, as it'll be the bottom third of the Lopes order, still looking for their first base runner against Jaden Vickers, who has handled the Lopes offense with ease in each of the first 2 innings. It'll be Eastburn, Torvill, and Barnes looking to get things going for the Lopes. 1 run on 4 hits, 5 runners left on base thus far for Rutgers. As that one's cut on and missed by Eastburn. Getting their first at-bat on this Friday afternoon. In the 7 spot for Coach Hayes here in the nightcap against Rutgers. Has 1 RBI on the season and a limited amount of at-bats thus far. Looking to open up some eyes here against Rutgers as that one's cut on and missed. Healthy hack there from Eastburn, but the count now runs to no balls and 2 strikes. And Vickers making quick work of Kylie Eastburn to start the bottom half of inning number 3 as she'll head back to the dugout after that punch out. 4 strikeouts already for the southpaw, and that'll bring up Savannah Torvill. So 3 pitches, 1 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. Savannah Torvill, the Lopes third baseman, looking to get in the hit column here first against Vickers as that pitch clips the outside corner again. Vickers continuing to be in a strike-throwing machine early on in this game. Savannah Torvill, we've mentioned over the years, a huge freshman campaign in 2019, had those 10 home runs. Has been a vital part of this Lopes order in each of the last 2 seasons. Looking to go out in a big way in her 4th and final season with the Lopes here in 2022. Still looking for her first home run of the season. Vickers looking for another punch out here. Clips the outside corner there, does not get the call, however, as the count now moves to 1-2 on Torvill. Savannah hitless in that game against the Cougars earlier today. Did reach base on a hit by pitch. Goes down on strikes here in the 3rd. Chases that one outside the zone and away. 2 up, 2 strikeouts, 2 outs for Jaden Vickers as she'll do battle now with Macy Barnes. The junior second baseman for the Lopes taking another look on 1-2 after missing low in the zone. Gets the Lopes third baseman to climb the ladder on 1-2. So now Barnes, the last hope for the Lopes here in the bottom of the 3rd, down by 1, still looking for their first base runner. As Vickers looks to go perfect in her first go-around in this Lopes order with Gianna Nicoletti waiting on deck. Macy Barnes does have 1 home run on the season. As she swings through that one, count now 1 ball and 1 strike. The way the Lopes have performed thus far against Jaden Vickers, we would love to see another long ball right here to get on the board, make this a brand new ball game. Just trying to get a few runners on at the very least, however, as that one's fouled straight back. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Lopes have been on some of these pitches from Jaden Vickers early on, just have been unable to barrel some of these up. And have not been able to find the grass thus far as well. Outfield is playing fairly deep, though, for Macy Barnes. As a 1-2 delivery from Vickers is cut on and missed by Barnes. An easy 1-2-3 inning. She strikes out the side here in the third as we'll head to the top half of the fourth. Rutgers has a 1-0 lead. You're watching NCAA softball on ESPN+.
Everything you desire.
You got what I'm looking for. You got everything that I want. My sugar and gold.
Everything you hunger for.
Take me to a higher place. Show me all your magic ways.
Nothing you ever expected. Welcome to Thosh at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Collins inbounds the ball to Clifton. Clifton finds Witter under the basket. Kick it up to Kimberly for a long three. Shazam! And you can put this one in the icebox. Sanderson Ford has just won another championship. Congratulations to Sanderson Ford. This all-star team consistently wins by treating customers the right way. No hassles, no pressure, no nonsense, no added markups. While new vehicle inventory is on the rebound, we have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles starting under $12,000. For a true championship experience, see my friends at Sanderson Ford.
Let's move to inning number 4 here in Phoenix. Bach, Lane, and Chavez against J.C. Hambrick. A 1-0 lead for the Scarlet Knights thus far. The perfect 3 innings for Jaden Vickers against this Lopes order thus far. As Kayla Bach takes a ball up and in, count quickly 1-0. Singled and scored in her first and only plate appearance against number 19. Singled up the middle and then came around to score on the RBI single by Sand with 2 outs. And she's quickly ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes, but nonetheless, Houston, we got another pitcher's duel on our hands here in Game 2 after a very dominant performance on both sides in Game 1 against BYU.
Both Hambrick and Vickers having great starts to tonight's matchup.
And a nice play out there by Kristen Fifield battling the sun. Again, a little bit of a glare here as it is 5:52 Mountain Standard Time currently. But 1 up and 1 down as that one was hit right on the screws by Kayla Bach, but she'll have nothing to show for it. Take another look there on that 1-0 offering. Put a drive into it. But again, Kristen Fifield has had a very busy day out there in right field, making another put out. So with 1 out, Lane will now dig in. It looks like Megan Herka, who did make her first plate appearance in this one in her last at-bat, was able to reach first base on a 1-out walk. Now digs back in. Taylor Lane pinch ran for her. Was left stranded in that at-bat. So after Herco singled, he was pinch ran for, now back in the game as that pitch misses up. She's now ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. So J.C. Hambrick falling behind each of the first 2 hitters, looking to lock in this game as we enter the middle stages with our team just down by 1. Pitch misses up, count now 3-0 on Herco, looking to get on board for the second time in this game. So neither team having an offensive surgence thus far today. Again, Grand Canyon with just 2 runs in Game 1. Rutgers with 2 runs in their 9-run defeat at the hands of the Cougars earlier this afternoon. So that pitch misses low. A 4-pitch walk handed out to Herco. We'll see if Taylor Lane pinch runs for her again here in the 4th.
Now batting right fielder, Leilani Chavez.
And that'll bring up Chavez, who's 0 for 1, looking for her first hit. One lofted in the air. Center field. Making the play is Reed for out number 2. Retreating back to first is Herka. So Herka is running here in the 4th inning after being pinch ran for by Lane in the 2nd, but she retreats back to first after the putout, and that'll bring up Sand in the top third of this Rutgers order for the 3rd time here in the 4th. Again, the sun, a little bit of a factor out there, but Stephanie Reed not having a tough time with it, making the putout for out number 2, and it looks like that's going to be it for J.C. Hambrick in this one. So Hambrick goes 3 2/3 innings of work, only allows 1 run on 4 hits. The runner on first base is her responsibility, but Sand will come into this game, or she'll have her next at bat against the Lopes bullpen. So we'll be right back here on ESPN Plus. It's a 1-0 lead for Rutgers.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans, huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food and everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
Back here on ESPN Plus. Lopes making a pitching change. It is Kyla Eastburn. Again, was the designated player in the 7-hole for Coach Hayes in the batting order. See there, 1 win, 2 losses here in relief. That 2.93 ERA. Does have 2 saves on the season. You gotta love the strikeout to walk ratio there. 25 Ks to just 9 walks. So she comes on in relief for J.C. Hambrick, who again just goes 3 2/3 innings of work in this one, only allowing 4 hits. The runner on first, and Herka is her responsibility. As Sand will look to pick up her 2nd hit here. First pitch in there for a called strike, so Eastburn gets ahead of this Rutgers hitter quickly. Again, the single in her last at-bat grounded out sharply to Hambrick back in the 1st to kickstart this ball game. Not a ton of speed over there at first base in Herka. But Sand looking to pass the baton as that one gets away from Kelso. Pitch was up, gets off of her glove, and going down to 2nd is Herka. So nonetheless, Herka gets into scoring position after the pass ball. And the count is now leveled at 1-1. So now Herka will look to get a good jump off of 2nd now with 2 outs. Sand just looking to put the ball in play. That one blocked by Kelso behind the dish, and the count now moves to 2-1. So after getting ahead 0-1, Eastburn falling behind now, 2 balls and 1 strike. Part of the order is looming for the Scarlet Knights. They'd love to capitalize here in the middle stages of this ball game, already up by 1. That one ripped to left field, almost identical to her last at-bat as Nicoletti quickly gets it in, hits the cutoff man in Torvill. And you see over there at first base, Sand tripping up after rounding the first base bag, but Torvill not challenging the throw over there at first base. Eats that one, so there's runners on the corners with 2 outs now. Sand with another rifle into left field. Again, the RBI single in the 2nd.
Maddie Lawson.
Holding up at 3rd in this at-bat is Herka. Torvill thought about throwing over there the first base bag after Sand tripped up after rounding the first base bag. Thought better of it, so with runners on the corners, that'll bring up Lawson looking for her 1st hit. Big opportunity here for the Scarlet Knights to capitalize. The first pitch misses up, count 1-0. Lawson walked and was left stranded at 3rd base back in the 1st when the bases were loaded, and then of course flew out to right field in her last at-bat. That was in the 2nd. But a big opportunity here with Herka on 3rd and Sand on 1st. Infield playing straight away here for Lawson as the freshman looks for an RBI. Pitch misses outside. Throw down to 3rd base after Kelso double clutches as the stolen base is picked up by Sand. Putting runners on 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. A 2-0 pitch now coming to Lawson. Big opportunity here. But first base is open with Callaway waiting on deck. So Eastburn looking to make her pitch here. She does. That one's rifled in the air. Left field going back is Nicoletti. Track, wall, set it off. A huge 3-run home run off the bat of Lawson. And just like that, the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers University has opened this ball game up in the 4th. It's 4-0.
You talk about momentum plays. We talked about a little bit before this matchup how important those big homers were going to be, and we mentioned GCU been leading the category, had about 13 more home runs than Rutgers coming into the game, but that one hit right there.
Lawson looking for her first hit of the afternoon. Runners on second and third. A single would have done it, but she was able to get underneath that one, elevated over the left field wall. Gianna Nicoletti had a beat on it, but ran out of room. And it's a 4-0 Rutgers lead here in the fourth. Gabriella Calloway takes that one off the shoulder, and she'll head down to first base. Runner on first base now for Lynn Cavage. So Kyla Eastburn having a tough time getting out of this fourth inning.
Now batting, third baseman,
Peyton Linkavage will now dig in looking for her first hit. Reached on an E6 in the first to load the bases, and then of course the double play. Back in the third, hit a rifle right to Savannah Torvill. And then Calloway, after her single to lead off the third against J.C. Hambrick, was going on the pitch, hit and run. The unassisted double play right in the hands of Savannah Torvill. First pitch is a strike. Now 6 hits in their first 17 at-bats as a team here tonight. A .353 average for Rutgers against Lopes pitching. Pitch misses up, count now 1-1. Lopes will look to do battle with Jaden Vickers, who again has yet to allow a base runner through the first 3 innings. It'll be Nicoletti, Reed, and Dunkel. The second time this Lopes order will get a shot at the southpaw. Pitch misses low in the dirt. Nice block there from Kelso. Count now 2-1. Pitch clips the corner to level the count at 2-2. And just 2 of those runs going to Eastburn's line, as the runner on first was J.C. Hambrick's responsibility. So her final line is 3 2/3 innings of work, allowing 2 earned runs in this start against Rutgers. Calloway will look to get a good jump off here. 2 outs, full count coming to Lynn Cavage, able to get a piece of that one as the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes, with Eastburn looking to come in on 3-2. Lopes have had a tough time with the top third of this Rutgers order. 4 combined hits in their first 6 ABs. That one's rifled into center field. And what a catch by Stephanie Reed. She hauls it in front of the warning track for the final out, but not before Rutgers puts up 3 runs. The big 3-run home run off the bat of Lawson. Let's go to the bottom of the fourth. You're watching Rutgers and GCU softball here on ESPN+. Don't go anywhere.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans, huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food and everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
This is gonna be tough. I mean, that's a bag full of Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwiches with tangy buffalo sauce and creamy buttermilk ranch, melty Monterey Jack cheese, and 3 crunchy chicken strips. How long will you have to wait before you enjoy yours? Oh, about that long. Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich is back for a limited time, just like you like it.
Collins inbounds the ball to Clifton. Clifton finds Whitter under the basket. Kick it up to Kimberly for a long 3. Shazam! And you can put this one in the icebox. Sanderson Ford has just won another championship. Congratulations to Sanderson Ford. This all-star team consistently wins by treating customers the right way. No hassles, no pressure, no nonsense, no added markups. While new vehicle inventory is on the rebound, we have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles starting under $12,000. For a true championship experience, see my friends at Sanderson Ford.
We move to the bottom of the fourth inning. The big blow in this one in the top half of the fourth. Maddie Lawson with a 3-run home run, giving Rutgers a 4-run advantage. 4 runs on 6 hits to this point. The Lopes still looking for their first base runner against Jaden Vickers. First pitch misses up to Gianna Nicoletti. Count 1-0, struck out swinging. 5-pitch at bat back in the first against Vickers. But Jaden Vickers has already shot up that strikeout total in this one. 6 Ks through the first 3 innings of work. Has struck out each of her last 4 hitters as that pitch is in there for a strike. Count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Made quick work of Eastburn, Torvill, and Barnes in that 3rd inning, striking out the side, and then her team picks up 3 more runs on 3 more hits in the 4th. Lopes just looking for a base runner to swing a little bit of momentum as that pitch misses low. Count now 2-1. That one slapped the other way and foul. Will get out of play. Gianna Nicoletti got on base twice in that game earlier today against BYU. Would love to get on base here with her team down by 4 to at very least get something going for the top third of her order against Jaden Vickers, who they have yet to figure out in this game. Again, those 6 strikeouts through 3 innings of work. There's a 1-2 pitch. Misses inside. Count now leveled at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nicoletti able to get out of the way of that one. A nice off-speed pitch there from Vickers. That one slapped the other way. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So nonetheless, another quality at bat for the Lopes left fielder. Jaden Vickers with already 4 complete games this season for Rutgers. 8 wins, 2 losses, and 14 appearances. Only had 1 complete game prior to that in each of the last 3 seasons. That came back in 2020 in her freshman campaign with the Scarlet Knights. There's the 2-2 pitch. Slapped into left field. That one's not going to find the grass as Nicoletti hit it just a tad bit too hard. Gabriella Calloway snags it for out number 1.
Now batting, center fielder.
So that'll bring up Stephanie Reed. 10 up and 10 down now for Jaden Vickers. Take another look there. Again, a 6-pitch at bat for Gianna Nicoletti. Classic Gianna Nicoletti, lacing it in the left field, but right there was Calloway. And now Stephanie Reed, who's already 0 for 1 today. And struck out 3 times earlier today against BYU. Flew out to fairly deep center field in her first plate appearance. Takes that one up. Count quickly 1-0 on the Lopes center fielder. And now down to 353 that batting average with 9 RBIs. Again, just missed her first home run of the season in her first at-bat. Fairly deep fly ball to right center field as she lofts that one in the air, foul on the left side to even up the count at a ball and a strike. It's good to see the Lopes barreling up some of these Jaden Vickers pitches nonetheless as they look to get things going before it's too late in this game, already down by 4. Trying to square down a bunt there on 1-1. Trickles foul on the right side, and the count now moves to 1-2. Now Vickers in control now, ahead in the count with 2 strikes. It's proved to be very dangerous thus far with 2 strikes with those 6 punch-outs already. At a strikeout total of just 35 a season ago, has already eclipsed that with 84 strikeouts here in 2022. That one lofted in the air, right field, easy put out there and right for Chavez. 2 up and 2 down, 11 up, 11 down now for Vickers.
Now batting, shortstop, Caitlin Dunkel.
Again, Reed barreling that one up, just gets underneath it though. A can of corn for the right fielder in Chavez. And now Dunkel, who has been a big part of this winning culture that Coach Shannon Hayes has developed here in 2022. Gets another piece of Vickers here in the fourth. A little too late on that swing as she rifles it foul on the right side. Count 0-1.
Although these teams don't have a whole lot of experience playing against each other, it's just their first meeting. This season do have some familiar opponents. Both Colgate and Princeton faced off against each of these teams, and then of course BYU.
That one trickled to short. 2 hops to Sand. She makes the play. Another 1, 2, 3 inning here in the fourth for Jaden Vickers. Let's go to the fifth. It's Rutgers 4, GCU nothing. You're watching NCAA softball on ESPN+.
Rutgers 4, GCU.
Everything you desire.
You got what I'm looking for. You got everything that I want. My sugar and gold.
Everything you hunger for.
Take me to a higher place. Show me all your magic ways.
Nothing you ever expected. Welcome to Thosh at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Welcome to a sport of fitness. Premium fitness for as low as $9.99 per month.
Sunrise, waking up lonely, big sky. Where am I going? I don't know. You take me for what I am. Love pure and simple. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces. You are the best part. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces.
We say hello to inning number 5 here in Phoenix. A 4-0 lead for Rutgers. Ryan Denhart out on the circle for Shannon Hayes and the Lopes. Just 7 2/3 innings of work thus far for the senior right-hander. 8 strikeouts, 5 walks. Earned second team All-WAC a season ago in her senior season in 2021. Made 20 starts and appeared in 25 games a season ago. Looking to limit the damage here as we enter the latter stages of this one. Again, the 3-run home run off the bat of Maddie Lawson an inning ago broke this one open for the Scarlet Knights. It'll be Fawcett, Wingert, and Bach against the Lopes right-hander. Fawcett 0 for 1 in this game, reached on a walk in her last at-bat. Takes that one on the outside corner for a ball, count 1-0. JC Hambrick going 3 2/3 innings of work, allowing 2 earned runs. Kyla Eastburn coming on in relief, looking to get that final out. Allowed the 3-run blast off the bat of Lawson before retiring the side. That one's fouled straight back and out of play. Count quickly 1-1 here for Ryan Denhart.
Ryan Denhart, easily the most experienced pitcher for GCU, been here since 2019, been named to the All-WAC second team a couple of times. WAC preseason pitcher of the year in 2020. Also played for another red Big Ten school her freshman year back at Maryland. Set the record for most strikeouts as a freshman in Maryland history since 2006, did Ryan Denhart.
Had a ton of success with the Lopes since transferring over as well, looking to make her mark in this game. We mentioned just 7 2/3 innings of work here in 2022. He's taking a back seat to JC Hambrick and Ariel Thompson as that one's ripped in the air down the right field line. Fifield's got a beat on it, makes a play in front of the warning track for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 down for Denhart here in the 5th.
And Ryan Denhart been collecting the accolades since high school. Was named a female student athlete of the year back in her conference. Sunset League Rookie of the Year, Classic All-Tournament team. She's been getting all those accolades since high school, and it continued to be impressive throughout her college career, finishing it out here at GCU.
Well, Coach Hayes is definitely expecting to get the best out of Ryan Denhart in this outing tonight, the way Jaden Vickers has thrown the softball in each of the first 4 innings. The Lopes still looking for their first base runner. They'll have the heart of their order due up in the bottom of the 5th. At the very least down by 4 runs, as Denhart looks to get in and out of this inning unscathed by this Rutgers offense. That pitch clips the outside corner to level up the count at a ball and a strike. Wingert grounded out sharply to short back in the first. That ended things with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and then grounded out sharply back to Hambrick in her last at-bat. That was in the 3rd inning. And it's a 1-1 pitch. Just clips the inside corner. Home plate umpire Scott Wallace makes the late calls. The count now moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Wingert. 0 for 2 in this one. Was 0 for 2 earlier today against BYU. Again, Rutgers looking to erase that 9-run deficit, or that 9-run loss earlier today, trying to erase it from their minds with a big win tonight against the Lopes. So that one's lofted foul. That one's going to find the seats, and we'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And despite the Lopes coming away with one of the more impressive wins you'll see against BYU, only picking up 2 runs on 4 hits in that one after a very impressive 5-2 win against Ball State on Wednesday, who they'll play here tomorrow afternoon. That one ripped right to Chapman, keeps it in front, and makes the play for out number 2. That one was rocketed, ticketed for right field, but right at the Lopes first baseman Chapman for out number 2. You take another look here in full swing. Wingert rifling that one right to Chapman, able to stay in front. Steps on the bag for out number 2, and that'll bring up Kayla Bach, who already has 1 base hit in this game, singled and scored in the 2nd, flew out to right field in the 4th. Thought about chasing that one outside the zone, does not, as the count now moves to 1 ball and no strikes. Had 1 hit against BYU earlier, 1 hit tonight against the Lopes. As the Pennsylvania native looks to give Rutgers a 2-out base runner. The count now moves to 1-1. Denhart taking a little something off of that pitch. And it'll be Chapman, Kelso, and Fifield for the Lopes against Vickers, who is perfect through 4 in this one. Pitch clips the inside corner again. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes as Denhart doing a nice job coming in right after the Scarlet Knight hitters in the 5th. Got to come in, throw strikes with your team down by 4. She's been able to do just that. Gets a sign, kicks, winds, and delivers the 1-2. That one popped up foul off the netting, and we'll do it again at 1-2. One-two offering, loft in the air, shallow right, gonna stay in the infield as Macy Barnes makes the play. An easy 1-2-3 inning in relief for Ryan Denhart. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th. Lopes running out of time. They trail by 4. You're watching NCAA softball on ESPN+. We'll be right back.
Collins inbounds the ball to Clifton. Clifton finds Witter under the basket. Kick it up to Kimberly for a long 3. Shazam! And you can put this one in the icebox. Sanderson Ford has just won another championship. Congratulations to Sanderson Ford. This all-star team consistently wins by treating customers the right way. No hassles, no pressure, no nonsense, no added markups. While new vehicle inventory is on the rebound, we have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles starting under $12,000. For a true championship experience, see my friends at Sanderson Ford.
Sunrise, waking up lonely, big sky, where am I going? I don't know, I don't know. You take me for what I am, love pure and simple. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces. You are the best part. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans, huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food and everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
Bottom half of inning number 5, Rutgers 4 runs, 6 hits. The Lopes still looking for a base runner as we enter the latter stages in this one. Jaden Vickers has been mowing them down thus far, 12 up and 12 down. In this one, she has 6 strikeouts to work with as well. It'll be Chapman, Kelso, and Fifield for the Lopes. Again, a couple of base runners and a big blast in this game could get the Lopes right back in it, but to this point, Jaden Vickers has been in absolute control against this Lopes batting order. First pitch to Chapman, lofted in the air, right field, should be an easy play for Chavez. 1 up and 1 down, 1 pitch and 1 down, as Chapman being very aggressive early in this at bat. But Vickers taking a little something off of that pitch. He's well out in front of it and lofts it into right field for out number 1. And went with the off speed there. Chapman just a tad bit out in front. And that'll bring up Kelso 0 for 1 in this one. Struck out swinging in her first at bat back in inning number 2 against Vickers. And we talked about the strikeout total last inning, just 35 strikeouts a season ago for Vickers. Already has herself 84 here in 2022 if you count the 6 that she has so far here tonight. Quickly getting ahead in the count, 0-1 here against Kelso. Took a little something off that pitch as well, misses up, count now 1-1.
Mentioned that final matchup of the weekend against Ball State tomorrow, and then the Lopes will kick off conference play. They'll take on New Mexico State, a pair of other conference opponents as well. Such a great start to the season here for the Lopes at 17-5. Need to try and turn things around here in the bottom of the 5th.
Pitch clips the inside corner, count now moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And nonetheless, a 16-5 start coming into the day, picking up win number 17 earlier today, Houston. Been a tough go-around against Jaden Vickers thus far in this one, but you got another chance to come back against Ball State. Worst case scenario here tonight as that one's ripped in the air, deep center field. Going back is Fawson. She makes the play right in front of the wall for out number 2. Kelso flirting with the first base hit of the day for the Lopes, the first run and her 5th home run of the season. But Fawcett able to come away with the catch right in front of the Nike sign for the second out here in the 5th. Take another look. Flirting with their first base runner, their first run of the night against this Rutgers pitching staff. But Fawcett able to make the play up against the wall, just to the right of the Nike sign in right center field. So 2 up and 2 down, and just like that, Vickers gets ahead of Fifield 0-1 as she fouls that one straight back. Popped up softly to third in her first and only plate appearance. That was in inning number 2 to end the 2nd inning. 14 up, 14 down for Jaden Vickers. 0-1 count here coming to Fifield. Misses low and in, count 1-1. That one ripped up the middle, and there it is, the Lopes' first base runner of the night against Jaden Vickers. On a 1-1 offering, Kristen Fifield knocks it right back up the middle. And now Kyla Eastburn will look to keep things going for this Lopes offense with 2 outs in the 5th. 1-1 pitch over the heart of the plate, just a little too good there from Jaden Vickers. As her quest for perfection ends with 2 outs here in the 5th. Now Kyla Eastburn will dig in, 0 for 1 in the game, struck out swinging back in the 3rd. Jaden Vickers, last strikeout coming in the 3rd inning after striking out the side. Eastburn, Torvill, and Barnes. As that first pitch is cut on and missed, count 0-1. Kyla coming on in relief of J.C. Hambrick with 2 outs in the 4th inning before being relieved by Ryan Denhart in the 5th. Cut on and miss, count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes.
Kyla's such an aggressive hitter when she comes up to the plate. Hasn't had a whole lot of time in the batting order so far this season, but 3 swings, 3 misses her first time up, and now not letting the pitches come to her. She's going straight at them, which is typically bad success for her.
Vickers looking for her first punch out since the 3rd. Misses up there, count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, still plenty of softball left to be played in this one. Herka, Leilani, Chavez, and Kylie Sand due up 8-9 and 1 for Rutgers in the 6th. As that one misses up. Nice eye there from Kyla Eastburn to level the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to pass the baton to Savannah Torvill. What a time it would be for your first home run of the season, Savannah Torvill. She's able to get in that bat here in this 5th inning, would change the complexion of these final few innings against Rutgers. That one laced foul, and we'll do it again at 2-2. You tell Jaden Vickers just having fun out there on the circle tonight. Everything working for her thus far. The one mistake. Pitch right over the heart of the plate. The 1-1 offering to Kristen Fifield for the first Lopes hit of the afternoon. As she tries to take a little something off of that one. It's left up by Eastburn, and the count now runs full at 3-2. Big pitch here for the Lopes. They'd love to get Savannah Torvill to the plate with 2 runners on here in the 5th. One swing of the bat could get them right back in this ball game. 3-2 offering from Vickers. That on fouled straight back, and we'll do it again at 3-2. The RBI single off the bat of Sands in the 2nd made it a 1-0 Rutgers lead early on. And then, of course, the crooked number in the 4th, the 3-run blast off the bat of Maddie Lawson. 3-2 pitch, popped in the air. It's going to be a foul ball as with Stanley and Vickers almost colliding down there on the dirt down the first base line. It looks like with Stanley's okay, as neither player was able to come away with the play. They'll take a look at her. She seems all right, laughing it off. As we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full out effort there from Rutgers first baseman, as we'll take another look on 3-2. In on the hands of Eastburn. And again, with Vickers coming in closely, it looks like she got her cleat either on the glove or on the fingers of With Stanley, but she stays in the game at first base. Another payoff pitch coming here from Vickers on 3-2, 8th pitch of the at-bat to Eastburn. And we're gonna have a 9th pitch as that one's gonna find the seats. So the count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. A huge at-bat in this game for Kyla Eastburn, making Jaden Vickers work, and if she's able to get on against Savannah Torvill on deck, one swing of the bat, the Lopes can find themselves right back in this ball game with 2 innings to go. Payoff pitch, popped in the air. Looks like Vickers is going to win the battle. Lawson makes the play, and that'll do it here in the 5th. The Lopes do pick up a hit, but they do strand one. We go to the 6th. It's Rutgers 4, GCU nothing. You're watching NCAA softball on ESPN+.
Everything you desire.
You got what I'm looking for. You got everything that I want. My sugar and gold.
Everything you hunger for.
Take me to a higher place. Show me all your magic ways.
Nothing you ever expected. Welcome to Thosh at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Collins inbounds the ball to Clifton. Clifton finds Whitter under the basket. Kick it up to Kimberly for a long 3. Shazam! And you can put this one in the icebox. Sanderson Ford has just won another championship. Congratulations to Sanderson Ford. This all-star team consistently wins by treating customers the right way. No hassles, no pressure, no nonsense, no added markups. While new vehicle inventory is on the rebound, we have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles starting under $12,000. For a true championship experience, see my friends at Sanderson Ford.
We roll into the 6th here on ESPN+. First pitch is fouled straight back. Ryan Denhart with an easy 1-2-3 top half of the 5th inning. back out there on the circle for inning number 6. The Lopes finally pick up their first hit as Christian Fifield rips one right back up the middle against Jaden Vickers, but she's able to bounce straight back, retire the side, following the Lopes' first base runner of the game. Still a 4-0 lead for Rutgers here in the 6th. Herka, 1-for-1, has reached base twice already. The count now moves to 1-1, unable to get her to chase that pitch up in the zone. Scored on that 3-run blast back in the 4th off the bat of Maddie Lawson. And then singled in the 2nd, was left stranded at first base. As that one's lofted in the air, left field. Easy play out there for Nicoletti. 1 up and 1 down for Denhart as she's retired 4 in a row since entering this one for Coach Shannon Hayes. And that'll bring up Chavez 0 for 2 in this game. The Lopes offense is running out of time in this one. 2 more at-bats to go, most probably against Jaden Vickers, the way she's thrown the softball. 6 punch-outs through the first 5 innings of work, only allowing that 1 hit thus far. Chavez looking to lay down a bunt right in front of Denhart. Torvill's going to take it at third, throws across the diamond to Barnes for the putout. 2 up and 2 down. 5 straight retired now for number 23.
Shortstop.
A nice idea here from Chavez, looking to get her team a 1-out base runner, but Savannah Torvill all over that one. Nice play on the back end as well by Barnes, able to adjust with the throw coming into her right. And now Sand will dig in 2 for 3. 2 base hits to left field in each of her last 2 ABs. That one just off the outside corner, count 1-0. Grounded out sharply to J.C. Hambrick all the way back in the 1st inning. Of course, had the RBI in the 2nd, and then Kylie with the base hit and coming around to score on the home run off the bat of Lawson as well in that 4th inning. There's a 1-0 pitch. Cut on and missed, looking to lay down a bunt as well as the count now moves to 1-1 on Rutgers' leadoff hitter. And we mentioned the Lopes will be back in action here tomorrow at 2:30 Mountain Standard Time, only on ESPN Plus, taking on Ball State, a team they beat 5-2 earlier in the week, Wednesday night. Thanks to Ariel Thompson and J.C. Hambrick. That pitch misses outside, count now 2 balls and 1 strike. This Lopes offense, without a doubt, looking to wake up. They still have 2 more chances against Jaden Vickers in this one, but just 1 hit, 1 base runner in the first 5 innings tonight against the Rutgers Southpaw, looking for her 9th win. That one bunted in front of the line. Kelso picks it up in foul ground, so the count now levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes, with Denhart 1 strike away from completing her 2nd consecutive 1-2-3 inning in middle relief. 2-2 pitch, chopped to second. Barnes has it, throws to first, gets the speedy Sand, and that'll do it. Another 1-2-3 inning here in the 6th for Denhart. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Lopes offense running out of time. You're watching NCAA softball action on ESPN Plus. We'll be right back.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans, huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food and everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
This is gonna be tough. I mean, that's a bag full of Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwiches with tangy buffalo sauce and creamy buttermilk ranch, melty Monterey Jack cheese, and 3 crunchy chicken strips. How long will you have to wait before you enjoy yours? Oh, about that long. Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich is back for a limited time, just like you like it.
Collins inbounds the ball to Clifton. Clifton finds Whitter under the basket. Kick it up to Kimberly for a long three. Shazam! And you can put this one in the icebox. Sanderson Ford has just won another championship. Congratulations to Sanderson Ford. This all-star team consistently wins by treating customers the right way. No hassles, no pressure, no nonsense, no added markups. While new vehicle inventory is on the rebound, we have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles starting under $12 grand. For a true championship experience, see my friends at Sanderson Ford.
Jaden Vickers, 5 innings of work, has only allowed 1 hit in this game. Her offense has picked up 7 hits in return, resulting in 4 runs. As the Lopes offense has 6 outs to work with here in the nightcap of this GCU ASU Classic. Kickoff for the Lopes on this Friday. Torvill fouls that one off, count quickly 0-1. It'll be Torvill, Barnes, and Nicoletti for the Lopes against the dominant left-hander for Rutgers in this one, Jaden Vickers. A Florida native looking for win number 9, looking to go to 9-2 early on in this 2022 season for the Scarlet Knights. Torvill looking to give the Lopes their 2nd hit of the night. Again, 6 outs to work with. All it takes is a couple of base hits here to get one of your power hitters in the middle of the order due up. Again, you got Torvill, Barnes, Nicoletti. You got a few runners on. You got Reed, Dunkel, and Chapman looming in the middle part of that order. Could change the whole complexion of this ball game with some late inning magic. It's a 2-1 pitch. Drops in there for a strike on the inner part of the plate. Count now levels at 2-2. Rutgers just hitting .250 against Lopes pitching tonight, against J.C. Hambrick going 3 2/3, with Kylie Eastburn coming on in relief in that 4th to get the final out before Ryan Denhart has been able to silence this offense. 6 up and 6 down since coming in relief in the 5th inning. Torvill, if anything else, a quality at bat here in the 6th. Looking to get on. Again, I mentioned those 10 home runs her freshman year, looking for her 1st home run in her senior season. Fouls that one straight back. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Torvill with another emergency hack there. Nice pitch from Jaden Vickers, trying to find the inside part of the plate there to the Lopes' 3rd baseman. She's able to get a piece of it to stay alive, so we'll see the 9th pitch of this at-bat from Jaden Vickers to Savannah Torvill. And has not picked up a strikeout since the 3rd inning. As that one's lofted in the air, shallow center field, and a little miscommunication is going to let that ball find some grass. It's going to go down as a base hit for Savannah Torvill. But a big miscommunication error there between Fawcett and Lawson in shallow center field, as we'll take another look. Again, a quality at bat for Torvill, just gets underneath that one. Should have been an easy put out for out number 1. As it looks like sand in the hole at shortstop there, miscommunicating with Fawcett in center field. So the Lopes have themselves a leadoff base runner. And it looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter for Macy Barnes, who went 0 for 1 in this one with a strikeout in the 3rd inning. Coach Shannon Hayes mixing and matching late in this game, trying to get anything going for his offense.
Number 11, number 10.
It looks like LaFleche is going to pinch hit.
Run for the Lopes. Number 11, Hannah Burnett. Pinch hitting. Number 10, Jocelyn LaFleche.
And of course, Hannah Burnett's going to pinch run over there at the bag at first base for Savannah Torvill, with LaFleche getting her first at-bat of the day. Just 2 RBIs on the season. Pitch misses low and away, count 1-0. Again, that Rutgers bullpen has been a ghost town all night long, the way Jaden Vickers has been throwing the softball. And Linkavage playing in at the bag at third base, a wide open hole on the left side of the infield with Sand playing close to the second base bag. As that pitch misses up, count now 2-0, and you got to be careful here if you're LaFleche. Don't want to be too aggressive the way Vickers has thrown the softball up in the count 2-0 with a runner on first and nobody out. And the first mound visit of the night for Jaden Vickers is about to take place. So now LaFleche will huddle up with Coach Hayes and Gianna Nicoletti waiting on deck. Again, all it takes is one more base runner, and the Lopes can get right back in this game with one swing of the bat.
That last hit by Torvill, such an important play. Only the second hit of the night for the Lopes. Second one Vickers has given up. She's been so impressive all night long. That mound meeting just kind of calmed her down a little bit. Hey, we've got plenty of time here. Let's get these outs and head to the seventh.
We'll see if she's able to do just that the way she's been throwing the softball. That one sliced foul, so she comes right after LaFleche on 2-0. Tad bit late on that one, slicing it the other way. So on 2-1 now. LaFleche will look for a pitch to drive here with Vickers up by 4. Can afford to make a mistake this late in the game with her team up by 4, just a runner on first base. 2-1 pitch comes right after LaFleche on 2-1. Skies in the air down the right side, count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now LaFleche will look to barrel up, choke up on the bat here, try to put anything in play with Nicoletti on deck. The Lopes would love, again, to get just one more base runner aboard here with nobody out to get something cooking here against Vickers, who's been dominant all night long. That one ripped to second. There's one on to first, not in time to get the speedy LaFleche, but they do get the lead runner at second in Hannah Burnett pinch running, and there's one away. So after falling behind the count 2-0, Jaden Vickers battles back to work the count even at 2-2, and then kind of a half swing there from LaFleche. Deep in the hole at second base, a nice play, a nice flip there from Lawson, getting the lead runner with Sand covering the bag at second. And now Gianna Nicoletti will dig in with 1 out and a runner on first base. And Gianna Nicoletti would love to put the ball in play here, find a hole on the left side to put 2 runners on with Reed and Dunkel looming in this Lopes order. And she struck out all the way back in the first, lined out to left in her last at-bat, hit it right on the screws. As the first pitch is chopped up the middle, that one is going to find the grass in center field for a base hit. So Gianna Nicoletti, despite striking out in the first, and of course hitting one right on the screws in her last at-bat, has another hard hit ball here in the 6th against Vickers. She finds the hole in center field, and the Lopes have 2 runners aboard. Their first runner in scoring position as that one gets past the outstretched glove of Maddie Lawson and into center field. And now Stephanie Reed will dig in. Again, plenty of power in the bat of Stephanie Reed, still looking for her first home run. Would love to find it right now with Dunkel waiting on deck. 1 out, runners on first and second. As that pitch is skied foul and out of play, count quickly 0-1. Reed 0 for 2 in this one. Flew out to the warning track in the first, flew out to right in her last at-bat. Was hitless 0 for 3 with 3 punch-outs against BYU in game 1. Would love to pick up a base hit this late in the game when her team needs it the most. She's already got 9 RBIs on the season. As that one's blocked in the dirt, runners looking to advance. A huge out, number 2, this late in the game in the bottom of the 6th for Rutgers as they get the lead runner. Macy Barnes pinch running, trying to swipe third base with that ball in the dirt, but Wingard able to block it, throw that one down to third. Can seem like a good jump there from Macy Barnes, but not nearly in time as Linkavage applies the tag before the slide into third base. Moving to second is Nicoletti, but there's 2 away now. 1-1 count to Reed is fouled off on the right side, and the count now 1-2, and Vickers once again in control with a runner on second, 2 outs and 2 strikes.
The Lopes choosing a good time to start making contact with the ball. Unfortunately, a tough play for Barnes there, and Rutgers with 2 outs now in a good position to head to the 7th with a 4-run lead.
A huge out in this game with the Lopes finally getting something going as that one's rifled down the left field line and foul. Do it again at 1 and 2. And you had runners on first and second with 1 out. In the middle of this at bat to Stephanie Reed. You take the gamble down by 4 runs to advance an extra base. You get caught. And now with 1 pitch, Vickers can eviscerate any sort of hope that the Lopes had here in the bottom half of the 6th. As that one's roped into the right center field gap. That one's gonna fall. Scoring from second is Nicoletti. It's an RBI double for Stephanie Reed. She now has 10 RBIs on the season. So now that out number 2 proves to be vital in this inning for both Rutgers and GCU. As the Lopes get on the board, it's 4-1.
Shortstop.
It's great work there from Steph Reed. Pops it straight in between center field and right fielder. Perfect placement, and the Lopes get on the board. See if Dunkel can step up and add to this rally for the Lopes.
So now you got the heart of your order due up, down by 3 runs. Dunkel, 2 RBIs on Wednesday. Has made some big plays at short today defensively for the Lopes. Has an opportunity to come up clutch here in the bottom of the 6th against Vickers as that pitch misses up, count 1-0. You got Chapman waiting on deck. And if you can get Chapman to the plate, she would be the tying run in this ball game in the bottom of the 6th. Dunkel 0 for 2, struck out and grounded to short thus far tonight against Vickers. That one drops in there for a strike to level the count at 1-1. "18 runs batted in. At the very least looking for 19 right here to keep things going. That one on the right side, play gonna be made by Lawson, and she gets the final out here in the 6th, but the Lopes score 1 run on 2 hits. Let's go to the 7th. Rutgers leads this one 4-1. You're watching NCAA softball action on ESPN+.
1 runner left on base. After 6.
Everything you desire.
You got what I'm looking for. You got everything that I want. My sugar and gold.
Everything you hunger for.
Take me to a higher place. Show me all your magic ways.
Nothing you ever expected. Welcome to Thosh at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
Welcome to a sport of fitness. Premium fitness for as low as $9.99 per month.
Sunrise, waking up lonely, big sky. Where am I going? I don't know. You take me for what I am. Love pure and simple. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces. You are the best part. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces.
We move to inning number 7 on ESPN+. You see right there the 1 run in the 2nd, then the crooked number in the 4th, and that crooked number came at the hands of the woman at the plate right now against Ryan Denhart. Maddie Lawson, the second baseman for these Scarlet Knights. A huge 3-run home run against Kyla Eastburn, on in relief of J.C. Hambrick in the top half of the 4th inning with runners on 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. Maddie Lawson depositing one over the left field wall, making this a 4-0 game at the time. The Lopes have since been able to tack on 1 on the RBI double off the bat of Stephanie Reed. But the Lopes down to their final 3 outs in this one against Jaden Vickers. Ryan Denhart has been able to retire the first 6 batters that she has faced, make that 7. Easy put out there in shallow left field for Dunkel. 1 up and 1 down.
Left fielder, Gabrielle Calloway.
Now Gabrielle Calloway will dig in looking for her second hit. 1 for 2 on the day. But Ryan Denhart, 7 up and 7 down in relief. You definitely love to see that if you're Coach Hayes. In the latter stages of this game with Rutgers on the brink of a Game 2 victory after an 11-2 defeat against BYU. Calloway with the single in the 3rd inning, was hit by a pitch in her last at-bat. Quickly falls by in the count, no balls and 1 strike. The Lopes will have Chapman, Kelso, and Fifield due up in the bottom half of the inning against Jaden Vickers. Again, that bullpen, nothing going for Rutgers as that pitch just misses inside. Count 1-1 now on Calloway. One pitch. Just off the outside corner. Did she go around? No, she did not, says the third base umpire, Willie Newman. Denhart trying to nab the corner once again on 2-1, misses just a little bit outside and low. So the count now runs to 3-1 on Calloway, looking for a 1-out base runner, looking to become the Rutgers' first base runner since that 4th inning. As a 3-1 pitch, misses up and away, and a 1-out walk to Calloway from Denhart. Calloway was actually the last Rutgers base runner in that 4th inning following that hit by pitch. And now Linkavage will dig in with a runner on first and 1 out. Still looking for her first hit of the day, 0 for 3 in the game thus far. Was hitless earlier today against BYU as well. As we'll see if Kristen Butler, head coach for Rutgers, wants to make any substitutions. It looks like she's gonna call for a pinch runner late in this game with 1 out in the 7th.
Coming in to pinch run for Rutgers, number 12, Maya Mancini.
Maya Mancini pinch running in this one. Rutgers looking to cause some havoc on the base paths late in this ball game, with the heart of their order due up, looking for a few insurance runs late in this ball game. Pitch is in there for a called strike count, 0-1. So after falling behind Calloway, Denhart looking to come right after this middle part of the order, trying to get back on track here. Has been nearly perfect before that 1-out walk. As that one's roped in the air, deep right center field. Fifield's got a beat on it, calls off Reed in center, makes the play. 1 hop to the cutoff man and Bards at second base. Another nice play out there in right field by Kristen Fifield, and there's 2 away.
Center fielder Taylor Fawcett.
So Kristen Fifield continues to have a busy day out there in right field, as Linkavage putting a charge into that one, but Fifield calling off her center fielder to make the grab. And now Fawcett, the last chance for Rutgers here in the 7th to keep things going, trying to add at least 1 insurance run against Ryan Denhart. As that one's ripped to second, Barnes has it, goes the easy way to second for the final out, and that'll do it. No runs on 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance for the Lopes. Do they have a rally in their bones? Only one way to find out. Rutgers 4, GCU 1. You're watching softball here on ESPN+.
Collins inbounds the ball to Clifton. Clifton finds Winter under the basket. Kick it up to Kimberly for a long 3. Shazam! And you can put this one in the icebox. Sanderson Ford has just won another championship. Congratulations to Sanderson Ford. This all-star team consistently wins by treating customers the right way. No hassles, no pressure, no nonsense, no added markups. While new vehicle inventory is on the rebound, we have hundreds of pre-owned vehicles starting under $12,000. For a true championship experience, see my friends at Sanderson Ford.
Sunrise, waking up lonely, big sky, where am I going? I don't know, You take me for what I am, love pure and simple. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces. You are the best part. In this wild life, I've been living in a million pieces.
We're your neighbors, and we're sports fans. huge fans. So come on over. It's game time. There's plenty of food and everything else we know you love. You choose your favorite games to watch and hear. We're your home for sports, Arizona. So join us today at CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona.
Last chance for the Lopes here in the bottom half of the 7th. You're watching NCAA softball action here on ESPN+. You see right there, 4 runs on 6 hits for Rutgers, 1 run on 4 hits for the Lopes, 2 errors defensively, both coming in the first inning. But it'll be Chapman, Kelso, and Fifield as Jaden Vickers looks to go the distance. First pitch clips the outside corner, just misses, count 1-0. Lopes picking up their first hit of the ball game in the bottom of the 5th. Christian Fifield ripping one right back up the middle to become their first base runner of the night. And then the Lopes picking up 3 hits in the 6th against Vickers. But she's trying to finish what she started early on in this game, perfect through the first 4 innings. As that pitch clips the outside corner, count 1-1. And Houston definitely the right part of the order for the Lopes, due up with all the power looming at the plate right now with Chapman. And you got Kelso with 4 home runs waiting on deck. Then, of course, Kristen Fifield with 5 of her own. As that pitch is popped up, Vickers going to call it herself. 1 up and 1 down here in the 7th.
Who better to make that play? It works out perfectly for Vickers to step up and make that. Has had such an impressive game already and makes the first out of what is most likely going to be the last inning of our ball game here tonight.
So Kelso will dig in her 3rd plate appearance against Rutgers left-hander. Struck out swinging in the 2nd, flew out to fairly deep center field back in the 5th. As that one misses outside, count 1-0. That fly out in the 5th when things were still perfect for Jaden Vickers. Kelso was just a couple feet away from launching her 5th home run of the season. Fawcett in dead center field making the play right up against the wall before Kristen Fifield was able to break that perfect game up for Jaden Vickers with a base hit up the middle. As that pitch is in there for a strike, count now leveled at 1-1. Again, those 6 punch-outs coming in the first 3 innings for Vickers. Now has 84 punch-outs here in 2022, only had 35 a season ago. That one ripped to left field. In there for a base hit. The Lopes picking up their 5th hit of the night. Kelso picks up her 3rd hit of the day, first in this game after picking up 2 hits against the Cougars. And now Kristen Fifield will dig in, looking to keep things going. The Lopes still have a chance in this one, ladies and gentlemen, as you take another look there. In on the hands of Kelso, but able to fight it out into left field. If the Lopes can get 1 more base runner aboard, they'll bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th.
Definitely seen crazier things, especially in this GCU stadium. Lopes still with chance here to rally themselves back.
5 home runs for Fifield as that pitch misses in, count 1-0. Just looking for a base runner here. With Kyla Eastburn waiting on deck, looks like we're going to get a pinch runner here following the 1-0 pitch from Vickers. So Kelso will head back to the dugout.
In a pitch run for the Lopes, number 5, Emma Villascusa.
Emma Villascusa. Pinch running here late in this one for the Lopes. It should be interesting to see what Coach Hayes goes with. If the Lopes are able to bring the tying run to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th with the bottom 3rd of the order looming. Of course, you got Eastburn, Burnett, and Barnes. 7, 8, 9 at the moment. That's a 2-0 offering. It's in there for a called strike. Vickers throwing that one right down Broadway on 2-0. Fifield looking to be patient in this at-bat. Big at-bat in this 7th inning for the Lopes, as they have 2 outs to work with. In on the hands, fouls it straight back, and the count now levels at 2-2. So it seems like every single time Jaden Vickers has fallen behind in the count, she's been able to work her way right back as she levels the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes, battling up there against the Lopes right fielder. At very least looking to put the ball in play here with 1 out. Two-two offering. In there for a called strike 3. Strikeout number 7 for Jaden Vickers, and the Lopes are down to their final out of the evening.
Kylie Eastburn, although she hasn't had a whole lot of success today, does have that home run hitting potential. See if she can make a big play here.
That one perfectly placed by the Rutgers left-hander, picking up strikeout number 7, is able to paint the inside corner, sending Kristen Fifield back to the dugout. So now Kyla Eastburn, 0 for 2 in this one. Struck out in the 3rd, popped up to 2nd in her last at-bat in the 5th, takes a ball up, count 1-0. Anna Burnett waiting on deck. She would be the tying run in this 7th inning if Eastburn can get her to the plate. Jaden Vickers has been dominant all night long here against the Lopes. Is 2 strikes away from picking up her 9th win of the season. The biggest difference in this game right now is that 3-run home run off the bat of Maddie Lawson in the top half of the 4th inning, with the Lopes being able to scratch across at least 1 run in the 6th after Rutgers held that 1-0 lead through the first 4 frames. That should do it. Fly ball to right field. Chavez has it, and that'll do it as the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers University come into Phoenix in this GCU ASU Classic and knock off the Lopes on their home turf by a final score of 4-1, backed by the dominant complete game performance from Jaden Vickers. 6 2/3 innings of work, 5 hits, only 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts in the process. She moves to 9-2 on the season. JC Hambrick picks up her 2nd loss of the year. She moves to 7-2, 4 runs on 6 hits for Rutgers, 1 run on 5 hits for the Lopes Houston. But you got to give credit to where credit's due. Jaden Vickers with the performance of a lifetime tonight for the Scarlet Knights.
Yeah, great performance out of her, and no surprise, she's shown it all season and all career long, doing a really good job for this Scarlet Knights team. It's tough to come into the GCU Stadium and knock off this Lopes team, and they did exactly that tonight. They'll improve to 14-8. The Lopes will drop to 17-6. Both these teams looking forward to the rest of their impressive seasons. Looking forward to seeing how those teams progress as this season moves along.
We'll be right back here tomorrow afternoon, 2:30 Mountain Standard Time, as the Lopes will take on Ball State in the final game of this GCU ASU Classic. But for now, Rutgers with a 4-1 win over GCU in the nightcap. A lot of softball to recap today. We'll talk about it tomorrow on the broadcast. And again, they'll take on Ball State at 2:30 Mountain Standard Time. But for now, for my co-host, my analyst, my partner in crime, Houston Bowe, I'm Jack O'Hara saying so long from Grand Canyon University, where the final score is Rutgers 4, Grand Canyon 1. Remember, all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. So long from Phoenix.